Hi, my name is Rhoda, a graphic designer and illustrator studying MA Illustration. My proposed project so far for this course is a printed, illustrated book with optional augmented reality sections. The book's main theme is based on passengers' oblivious and random behaviour on the tube in London, where the funniest and most annoying people I characterise as ignorant-looking animals. The project I'm currently calling Creature Tube. I started off my research with covert observation of my project's focal point, passengers on the tube. By taking photographs of the subjects acting as naturally as possible, I was able to collect enough data to understand both their in situ behaviour and their fashion or cultural sense. This information I would be able to carry through the characters of the project's illustrations and make them more believable. In order to make those characters even more believable, I needed to understand their environment too. These circles and rectangles I've pointed out here were purposely added into the tube station's interior as a homage to their popular icon here in the bottom right-hand corner. It is an element I'll be using on my illustration backgrounds. I also found information on the walls and materials and colour palettes that they use throughout the station. These will come in handy when deciding on colours and textures to be used in the backgrounds of the book. Earlier in April, I happened to attend a life drawing class where people were dressed in costume and everyday clothes. Mostly costume, but this helped me practice drawing people with clothes, which is something I've always been quite average at, and which I'll be doing a lot of for this project, so I thought it was worth a mention here. For part of my research, I looked at the zany illustrator from the early 20th century, Harrison Cady, who has been likened to 16th century artist. I noticed that both artists have a great skill at drawing crowded scenes drawn at a higher perspective. However, information on their process is scarce, so I looked at the modern day artist, Tom Richmond, who had a great blog post on how to draw crowds. Perspective, however, is something I haven't tried yet, so I found a tutorial online by graphic novelist M. Alice Legrau, who offered a step-by-step tutorial on 1, 2, and 3-point perspective, all which I tried, and the method even included cutouts, which I found effective in better understanding the perspective and distance between characters on a page. Next, apart from the art, there was something more technical to research into. Augmented reality is something I had always been curious about as a creator. My project is primarily a printed book, but using app software called Blipar, I was able to integrate a small amount of augmented reality by using thought bubbles. By scanning certain illustrations in the book, you'll be able to see thoughts of the characters appear. And given the tube experience and its lack of direct verbal communication between strangers, this kind of idea made sense to me, and would give another optional dimension of narrative to the reader. With the initial theme behind my project, it was to be focused on humans characterised as ignorant humans. However, during my research phase, I came across an old sketch from 2016 where I was describing the positivity that comes with random kindness. After some thought, I decided to add this theme to my project, but through scenes acted out by humans, not animals. Instead, the animals could act as the antagonists in those scenes. For example, a grumpy gorilla staring angrily at the gentleman further up front as he holds up the queue by helping a lady take her pram up the stairs. As a bonus, I will be adding an empty panel at the end of the book where the reader can draw in their own tube experience. Underneath, there will be a web link or QR code where they can share it on the book's Facebook page, should they wish this to feature. I hope this would add some sense of community to the book. However, I would like to think of other ways other than social media, should any ideas come to mind. Last but not least, my creative catalyst was to create a poster at my workplace, where for the first time I was given 100% creative reign. I was asked to create a poster focused on organic skincare and makeup products. I researched each of the products individually, listing down their organic ingredients, and then illustrated them. Drawing inspiration from existing poster designs, I thought of a heading that would suit the brief's theme of organic beauty. When that text was confirmed, I brought the organic ingredients, the products, text, and summer flowers all together. And they loved it. With the poster confirmed, an animated and non-animated version were made for the web as well. Finally, I think I've carried out enough research to move forward with the next stage of my project, drafting the characters, the environments, and writing the humorous narrative for the scenes they'll feature in. The thought bubbles used in the optional augmented reality section would also give some of these characters a voice, which, should the reader be curious enough to, will offer another dimension to the book's theme and the narrative. I'm looking forward to getting started.